start my video. I'm on my phone.
Yes, yes. Yeah, it's my great honor having a meeting with you today, and yes, I'm so glad to talk with you face to face.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. I like it very much, man. I'm very anxious to see the new models and start placing the orders. You know.
Yeah, sounds great. Sounds great. So, are you free to talk now?
Yes, I'm free. I'm free. I'm doing some marketing here on the phone, on the computer. But yeah,
Sounds great.
sounds good.
Sounds good.
How is everything? So busy with Christmas, with the end of the year.
Yes, yes. And yes, Christmas is coming, and we are prepared the inventory and the policy guides for the partners in around the world. And yes, nothing special. We're going to produce more bikes as we agreed, and to do some preparation for the Christmas, and even for the Black 5, and even for the first quarter of next year. And yes, this is our plan. That's the reason why we, Haidong, invite a partner like you to join this conversation, allow you to share your source ideas with us.
Yes, absolutely. You saw the document that I wrote.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. You know, I wrote it with the best of my expertise, you know, my knowledge, and with like trying to improve the bikes, because the better the bikes become, the more business we're gonna have, you know, and less problems we're gonna have. A better reputation we build, you know.
Yes, definitely. Yes, I have clearly read our feedbacks, and your feedbacks is very professional from the different angles, especially your ideas and feedbacks, which give us some suggestions and to improve our standards to meet different standards from different countries. I believe this is a huge improvement for us to adjust our products in the future. And yes.
That's great. That's great.
Yes.
We are together in this, Bruce. We kind of like need each other, you know. So it's better to work together.
Yeah, sure. Yes, I'm trying to find the sharing the screen, and the allowed us, both of us, to discuss the details that you share, the feedbacks.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Okay.
here on my phone, probably in the center, here on my phone is very easy, like share content, you know. Let's see if I open some here on my computer. I just changed. See the shop. I don't have a webcam on this machine.
So you're sitting in your shop now? You're sitting.
Yeah.
You're sitting in
My
your shop now. Workshop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very busy. It
It's
seems.
a bit. Yeah, it's a bit messy. Lots of boxes arrive. You know.
Yes, of course.
I'm doing this thought.
Okay, sounds great. I'm going to find the files. Just wait a few. And the
So
yes.
when will the production start? When the production of those bikes will start?
So yes, we have done the productions of the samples, and the first batch of the goods will be shipped to the United States by January. Yes, January 2022, and the.
I'm seeing your screen. Your screen is right here.
Yeah, sure. A lot of files. Okay.
So many.
A lot of files. Yes.
Busy man.
Yes, thank you.
So you have companies already placing orders for the samples.
Yes, of course we do. Yes, a lot of.
Samples being tested.
Sorry.
Do you have samples being tested? Do you have samples already being tested? Like, do you have some riders riding the bikes in China and testing the bikes?
Yes, the new samples on the bikes are being tested by our quality check team and QC team, as well as we invite some professionals to ride a bike, and still the video still being filmed, and we still check everything. As I mentioned before, we are going to launch it, and we haven't disclosed so many detailed infos on our official website, even quotations and prices and details to the existing partners. That's the reason why we hold online meeting and allow each other to discuss more. Yes.
That's great. You have the document I wrote. You translated it to Mandarin.
Yeah, Mandarin, and it allowed our general manager to see it, to check it, and yes, we can discuss one by one. And yes, how do you feel? How do you feel the samples we made for you for the 5 units? Are you satisfied about that?
Like Bruce. Yes. Overall, the quality of the bike is great. So the bike is big, but you can lower the seat, so short people can ride the bike without any problems. The components, they seem to be of good quality.
Yes.
You know? I just think that, for example, the Australian mark, I think I haven't written in this document, but I have added it lately here on my end. For example, the bikes to be sold in Australia, they have to have a bell. So it seems to be like something not very important, but you have to have a bell on the bikes here in Australia.
You mean the ring? You mean the ring?
Yeah, the bell, like. Bing,
Yes.
bing, bing, bing.
Of course we do. We do have it. And
Yeah. So what else? You know, I think my major concern was with the brakes of the bikes, because I think the brand Logan,
yes, the hydraulic brake, the brand was Logan. It's
yes, they sent. Let's see if I get a sample here.
yes, sure, please.
Right. So I got a Shimano brake.
Yes.
So when we buy brakes or replacement brakes, they come as a complete system. Comes with lever,
Yeah.
the hose, and the caliper, right?
Yes.
I think probably Logan sends a complete kit to you. Yes. So to pass, so you have to pass the holes inside of the frame. Yeah. So you open the system, pass the holes inside of the frame, and then you assemble the bike. What we noticed here is like some of the brakes, they were low the levers were very low. That means that probably we had air in the system.
Yes, yes.
And it could, in the future, be a problem because the person riding the bike would lose the brakes, would not have enough brakes because there is air bubbles, you know. So that's a concern
Yeah, you mean?
of ours.
Yes.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Yes. So when we do the brake system, we have to be sure that there's no air bubbles in the circuit. And I don't know if it's because of Logan. It maybe it's not as good as Shimano or Tektro, and sometimes in the reservoir or in their lever there's
Yes.
space for air.
Yes.
And if because here we bleeded all 5 bikes. We
Yes.
had like a Hero Cup, we had oil and
Yeah.
It was very hard to remove all the bubbles of that brake
Yes, understood.
in
Understood.
to
Understood.
Shimano. And there is one thing, Bruce, that I want to talk to you. This is very important to us.
So.
Okay. Yes.
So you pointed out that there were full of bubbles when we install the hydraulic brake to the framework, and there were bubbles within the brakes, within the leaks.
Yes.
Leak.
Yes, Bruce. We are working together in this, you know. So we have to find a solution to support our customers and don't have any problems or liabilities.
Yes, sure.
What happened? Because we imported only 5 bikes and it wasn't in a container.
Yes,
you
yes,
know?
yes,
So
sure.
the bikes, they were turned upside down many times in this delivery, you know, from your factory to my forwarder in Shenzhen,
Yes,
then to the
yes.
container, then so the bikes, they flipped upside down, and that might have make bubbles move into the brake system. So when the bikes arrived here, the levers were a bit low, you know. So we had to bleed them again. It was very hard to remove all the air. But what I want to tell you, Bruce, if you receive the brakes from Logan probably send you the adapter and the brake caliper already together, yes?
Yes.
They are adding a spacer between the caliper and the mount. So there's can you see that they add a spacer of about 2 or 3 millimeters. Okay? In this case, there's no spacer, you know, they are in my hand. But I think Logan is adding the spacer. And those 2-3 millimeters of the spacer is not good on your bikes. In some bikes made other factories, should be perfect. But for your bikes, like when you design the frame, your bikes are being designed perfectly. You don't need any space at all. Your frame is already perfect. You just have to put the mount and the caliper, the brake caliper, and it will work perfectly. Because what happens when we have two spacers in your bikes?
Yeah, sure.
You know, the disc. Let me get the brake pad here.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I have a pair of brake pads here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Correct. So this is the brake pad, okay?
Yes,
We can compare.
the calipers.
Yeah. Okay. So the disc should pass exactly on top of the brake pad. So the brake pad, the friction material is touching the race, like
exactly the radius of the disc. If you offset the disc 2 or 3 millimeters like this, when the brake pads bite each other, when we have a sandwich, I don't know if you can see it properly. Yeah. So what happens? If the disc is exactly at the height of the friction material, like let's say like this, no problems. But if the brake pads are like 2-3 millimeters above like that, what happens? The disc will let me think it. Will wear the pad about here like this, you know. So this gap here on top is the spacer of 2 millimeters, 2-3 millimeters.
Yes.
And the disc will pass on this area here, but this top area will be intact, will not be touched. What happens? The customer keeps using the bike, and then there is no material more on this area, but there is lots of material on this area here.
Yes, yes.
And then the customer is pressing the brakes, like, oh, I'm stopping the bike, but actually the disc is running free, you know, inside of the pad. So the disc, let's say, wore like eating, you know, the disc ate all the brake pad, but the shoulder, this back part of the brake pad, is still new. So at low speed, you think you are stopping the bike, but at high speed, you cannot stop the bike because every time you press the brakes, the caliper compresses the brake pads, but the top of the brake pads touch each other, and you cannot compress the disc anymore.
Yes, I understood you.
You understand?
Yes.
So this can be a big problem, you know.
Is that hydraulic brake of Logan we provide to you has same issue about this?
Yes. The 5 samples, all the 5 samples have this issue, and like you are manufacturing it, and we are importing it.
Yes.
So we are both liable if someone has an accident, you know. And we have seen with other brands, you know, that type of accident happen.
Yes.
But in that case, in the case of that brand, was the design of the frame wasn't right. So when installing the mount and putting the caliper was far away from the disc. Your design is perfect. Bruce. You don't have to change the frame design. But Logan is sending you the brakes with that spacer, and that spacer can fuck both of us, me and you. You know, you manufacture, I import, and we get fucked. You know.
Yes.
If there's an accident.
Yes. Do you have sample of textual hydraulic brake in your shop now, or do you have other types of hydraulic brake so we can make a comparison?
Yes. I have only Shimano here.
Only Shimano.
Only Shimano. But I think like Shimano is very reliable.
Yes, sure.
Tektro has become as good as Shimano somehow in some models.
Yes, sure.
Logan, it's kind of new for us. You know, it's like a third level, like
Sure.
lower.
Sure.
So if we can work with Tektro, we prefer.
And now we do have an inventory of Tektro. Before Tektro hydraulic brake was out of stock. It's very hard to allocate from supply chain. That's the reason why we provide you the hydraulic brake of Logan. But if you prefer Shimano or even Tektro hydraulic brake, we can arrange because we just allocate so many inventories from the supply chain. And yes, and Replifier. Did you check the Replifier?
The starting what part?
Replifier of Shimano, the shifter, the Sam throttle.
Yeah. Great. Works fine. Works great. I'm just waiting for the stickers, you know. They're gonna put stickers.
Stickers.
Yeah, on the bike.
Yes, sure.
Yeah. And then I have a group of friends. They are all e-bike enthusiasts.
Yes,
And
sure.
we're gonna get the 5 bikes out.
Yes, sure.
And we're gonna like ride around the city. We're gonna record. We're gonna make the videos, record the videos, you know. And I'm gonna leave the bike with them.
Yes.
Each guy will have a bike, so they can test the bike and give their feedback. But my overall feedback from 5 years in the industry, it's the bikes are great. The bikes are great. They are very impressive. They are beautiful. They're good looking. They seem to have good components, and we just have to sort out a few things. For example, so the brakes we got. If we can work with Tektro, better, because we have the brake cutoff, the sensor, and I think with Tektro we won't have the trouble as I showed you, like the brake mount and the caliper.
Yes.
And so this problem here will not happen. But this is the shock of the Challenger is the Nero bike full suspension, isn't it?
Sorry?
The Challenger.
Challenger, yes. The high suspension. You mean the front suspension or the rear suspension?
The rear suspension. Yeah, the Challenger is the one. Is the little bike, like a moped bike, like a little motor bike, yeah?
Yes, like
And
a
this one.
motorcycle, yes, you like.
Yeah. What happens? You know, I've been working with automotive suspension for some time.
Yes, sure.
So what happens? This shock here is too strong.
Too strong.
Or why? Can you see here, Bruce?
Yes.
So can you see that we have a groove, and if this groove goes down and stuff, so we can make the shock harder, but we cannot make the shock lighter, like more smooth.
Yeah, comfortable or lower. Yes.
So what happens? The way that the Challenger was designed, the problem is not the way it was designed, but the way it was designed with 2 shocks like this, like they spring with this strength. 2 shocks is too much. So for that bike to be comfortable,
yes,
you have to ride with people together.
Yeah.
And
yes, because actually these type of e-bikes, except the commuters, they were designed for the North American market, because in the North American market, their roads connected, intertwined with the jungles, mountains, and not all out plateau. So that's the reason why we provide this hydraulic suspension, both front and rear suspension. Why so stronger? But also means that the rear suspension has good quality. Yes, like you said, if you ride the Challenger on the plateau roads, yes, there will be a problem. You cannot feel the comfortable riding feelings. Yes, this is a different feature. Yes.
What I suggest, I don't know about your supply chain in terms of like what we see here in Australia is, do you know the normal conventional e-bikes in China that we have, like big hub motor on the back, small wheels, basically no pedaling, just throttling. You know, the bikes we see every day in China. Those bikes, they are coming a lot to Australia, a lot, and all of them use this shock or very similar. And what I realized, those bikes, they are very hard to ride. even though they have front and rear suspension, they are very hard. In my opinion, because the shock, the spring is too hard, and because they have two shocks, one on each side, it makes it even harder. When it becomes more smooth to ride, when you put lots of load on the bike, when you put lots of load on the rear rack, then it gets very smooth. So here, my body weight, I weigh about 80 kilos. I was born in Brazil, I'm South American, you know. I'm not like the American guys, or even the Australian guys, they're like 100 kilos easily, you know. But my mechanic, he's German, Australian.
Yes, yes.
And we have about the same size. He's a bit bigger than me. He's 85.
Yes.
So we built the bikes and we took them for a spin on streets here in front of the shop.
Yes.
And when we worked together,
Yes.
was when the bike was comfortable.
Yes.
So there was like 165 kilos on the bike, and that is when it got very comfortable.
Yes, yes.
And so what we did, we removed one of the shocks, okay? And we are, of course, when you have only one shock, the bike flex a bit because you have only one shock. But with one shock is the perfect smoothness, you know, the